Hello everyone, Gilligan Kruger 0829 here, and welcome to the second day in my belated Avengers movie series review. Today we'll be looking at the second film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe saga, 2008's The Incredible Hulk. This came out only a month after the success of the first Iron Man movie, and in many ways it is a follow-up to the 2003 film starring Eric Bana. And if any of you are fans of that movie, I am not, I'll say that right here, right now, but to the fans, I promise I will try my best to make as few references to that film as possible, but again, I'm getting carried away. The subject of today is the 2008 film, so let's look at that. So this movie picks up pretty much exactly where the 2003 film left off. You've got Bruce Banner, now played by Edward Norton, is hiding in Rio de Janeiro, and through the help of a martial artist and several other practices, he's managed to keep the Hulk contained and hasn't transformed in several weeks. That is, of course, until he's finally tracked down by General Ross, now played by William Hurt, and British Marine Emil Blonsky, had to think of his name for a sec, played by Tim Roth, who finally find him in Rio de Janeiro. But Banner escapes and returns to the United States, where he's reunited with his former love interest and General Ross's daughter, Betty. She's now played by Liv Tyler. And the movie that follows is essentially a two-way battle between Bruce and Betty trying to find the ultimate cure for the Hulk, and Emil Blonsky's obsession to learn all about it and become the perfect fighter to face off against him. Now, 2008 was essentially the summer of the superhero. We had Iron Man in the beginning of May, we had The Dark Knight towards the end of July, and Incredible Hulk came right in between those two in June. And while I admit it was an enjoyable film, it's definitely my least favorite out of those three I mentioned. In fact, just to do things a little bit different today, I'm actually going to start by talking about the stuff I didn't like about this film. Since my views were a little bit mixed after the 2003 film, but I also kind of wanted to see something new. So, what did I not like about this movie? Firstly, I wasn't too involved in the romance between Betty and Bruce in this one. It's not to say they were bad, but just the way it was handled, it really felt kind of awkward. It seemed like a lot of them were a lot of the moments between these two, that's a better way to put it, was really just managed in just stares and saying things like, yeah, let's do that, yeah, let's do this, oh, we can't do that, blah, 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 blah. I just never really saw any chemistry. I didn't see a spark in between them two, and that was kind of the weak part about it. But the real problem to me with this film is the story. If you could probably guess from my plot synopsis, which was really short for my plot synopsis in my reviews, it's literally a polar opposite to the 2003 film, where that one was incredibly complicated and kept throwing at things at you every now and then. This one's really simple, very cut and dry. It doesn't really take too many risks, I didn't feel. Like, it follows a very similar formula. Like, soldiers go in, Banner turns Hulk, fights them off, turns back, has a moment with Betty, rinse, repeat, do that again. That kind of gets repetitive at times, and that bothered me. There were some other little nitpicks anywhere, but the main faults for me are the story and the romance. I didn't really go for either of them, and it did kind of bring the movie down for me. But, as I said, it's not a bad film. What did I enjoy about the movie? Well, you're going to hear this a lot in these Avengers series reviews, but I really liked the action in this movie. It was really cool. Like, not only the battle scenes, but there were some other things. Like, the climax of this movie in particular, where Bruce Banner as Hulk fights off Emil Blonsky's abomination creation, is just awesome. And he does manage to say Hulk smashed, which that was really cool. And by the way, I love the design of not only the Hulk, but especially the Abomination. Even though we don't see it towards the end, I really think it's very intimidating. It's kind of like H.R. Geiger meets George Romero, this zombie-esque alien thing, and I just thought it was cool. And what I also enjoyed about this movie, while we're sticking with the action scenes, I really kind of liked the tension they did at the beginning of this film. Like, when we first see the Hulk, we don't really see him, actually. It's in a factory in Rio de Janeiro, and he's just throwing the Marines and soldiers every which way. And since he's being kept in the shadows, it's kind of like an old horror film, like some Friday the 13th-esque Halloween alien movie. And that was really cool. I really thought they did it right, because for me, when I think of the Hulk, he's kind of like a character that, while, yeah, he should be super and heroic, he also should be kind of intimidating when you really get down and think about what this character should be. I thought this movie did that very well and would be done even better in a later film in the saga, but we'll get to that when we get time. So, yeah, we had a good action sequences to back up the relatively weak story, and this movie is directed by Louis Leterrier, however you pronounce his last name, who would later go on to direct the Clash of the Titans remake from 2010, which had essentially the same general concept. Great action, not so great story. Beginning to see a pattern there, but it's a bit of a mix, and it's not just the action, because while I didn't see any chemistry between these characters, I thought our two leads were good. They were interesting, and they were a lot of fun to be around. I think Norton did a good job as Banner, and Tyler did a good job as Betty. And I have to say that about all the supporting cast. While I don't remember all of them, I can't remember hating any of them. And it also has two really good Marvel-esque cameos in the movie that I have to give credit were done very well. Props to you. So, yeah, a bit like American Wedding that I reviewed earlier this year, this film for me is kind of a mixed bag, but overall, I did have a good time. A few good performances and some awesome action scenes make up for its somewhat weak story at times. So, 3.5 stars out of 5 for The Incredible Hulk. You can find all my movie reviews on my YouTube channel. If you have a movie you'd like me to review, comment on this video or on my channel. If you like this video, subscribe to see more, and until next time, peace!